This is Amud Yomi Gemara in Shabbos Daf Samuch Amud Aleph. We're holding on the bottom of Nuntes Amud Beis, about 8 lines from the bottom. The first word, last words on the line. V'loi b'katala, that a woman cannot wear a katala, which when we learned the Mishnah, we translated as basically a choker, a necklace of sorts. Says the Gemara, my katala, what is this katala? Minakta pari. It's a very tight bib, which literally minakta pari means a crumb catcher. There were two pshatim in Rashi. One of them was more like a bib thing, the other one was a tight necklace. Either way, it's something that goes tight around the neck. And the Gemara continues the nizamim, rings. The Gemara explains these are not regular finger rings, but rather nizmei af, nose rings. Continues the Gemara, v'lo tabashin lo chaysim. She cannot wear a ring that does not have a signet. Says the Gemara, chayaves. If it has a ring on it, then what? She would be chayaves. Which of course, there's two diukim always in the Mishnah. The Mishnah said, midirabanan, she can't wear a ring without a chaysim. So says the Gemara, so with a chaysim it's a deraisa, alma lav tachshenu. V'reminu will ask you, estir tachshidi nashim tameim. Women's ornaments are tamei v'elin tachshidi nashim katlais, chokers, nizamim, rings, tabais, earrings and rings, tabas, other types of tabas. This type of ring, says the Gemara, page sheyesh lachais, page she'en lachas, v'nizmei af. So says the Gemara, seemingly whether it has a chaisam or not, it is considered a tachshit. So why would it be a deraisa? V'amarav zeir like kasharam nechemya ha rabbanan. When we said in the Mishnah it's not a tachshit, that's the Rav Chemya. When the Brisa says it is, that's the Rabbanan. What are these two shitos? Titania. If we have a ring that's made out of metal, and the signet is made out of almoig wood, Tameya. If it was made out of almoig wood, and the signet is made out of metal, then tahira. From the Chemya mitame. Why? Shahayar and the Chemya Omer b'tabas halachach b'chaysama. Be'ol of a yoke hachalachach sim loinav, which are the pegs. Be'kailav, a display board, as we turn over to Samcham Aleph. Halachacher masmeira, of the nails. Besulam, a ladder. Halachacher shlivaisav, the rungs. Ba'arsi, a scale. Halachacher shalshalaisav, the chains. That which supports it. But what do we see? We see, according to Rav Nechemya, it's all about the function. It's all about the chaysim. Therefore, it's not going to have a din of a tachshit. That's the reason why, according to Rav Nechemya, will indeed be an issa deraisa to wear such a ring. So that's teretz number 1, to mechalek between Rav and Rav Nechemya. Excuse me, between Rav Nechemya and the Chachamim. Ravam arenochat. Let's start him. There are two ways of learning. Yesh aleh chaysam tachshet ish. Ein aleh chaysam tachshet isha. So when it says that it's not going to be a chaysam with, not going to be a tachshet, is going to be when, no, the opposite. It's not going to be a tachshet if it has a chaysam. It's for a woman, but for a man it will be. Rav Nachman Yitzchak, our third teretz, Toma Shabbos Karam. What was your kasha? Your kasha was the Mishnah about Toma that said that it's a tachshit. Says Gemara what shaychis. Toma, the gedarim, the categorizations, the classifications. That's the right word for Toma. Kli ma'isa amar Rachmana v'kli. A ma'isa is a kli. Shabbos misham masay amar Rachmana, and therefore, fundamentally, says the Gemara with regard to Shabbos, if ein aleh chaysam, then it's a tachshit. Yesh aleh chaysam, then it's going to be a masoy, because you have no reason for the chaysam on Shabbos. That's going to be the reason why it's going to be an iser daraisa. So 3 different ways of answering up why in the Mishnah it says an iser darabanan to wear a ring without a chaysam, which implies that with a chaysam it's an iser daraisa. Says the Gemara at the 2 dots, 12 lines down, Samach Amud Aleph, V'lei b'machas she'eina nikuva. Lamai Chazia, says the Gemara, what is such a needle used for? Rav Yosef al v'isha regis b'sa'ara. A woman uses it to weave or to collect the stray hairs with such a needle. Should be like a biris, a garter, which is tahar v'tishri, because it has a function. Says the Gemara, no, it's a needle that she uses to part the hair, like those, Chinese sticks that women the girls use to part the hair. That's what this needle is used for. So says the Gemara, 1 second, what usage bechlal does this have on Shabbos? The needle has a bar of gold on one of its ends, so therefore it is an accessory. They used to wear it. See, like these Egyptian pictures, needle through their forehead, not through the forehead, down the center of their head with this golden signet on their forehead, different styles. We continue with the Mishnah in the middle of Samach Amud Aleph. A man cannot go out with a sandal, hamisomar, a wooden sandal, leather straps attached to the soles with nails. Why? We'll see in the Gemara. He can't wear one shoe. And these, of course, every single line here is Kemah brought down in Shulchan Aruch, La'alacha. The question is how to equate these with modern day findings. Lo b'yachana with one shoe. There's no mark on the other foot. It's pretty classic. There's no way here if you can't wear one shoe out. Why not? Only got one shoe. We'll see. V'lei b'tfilin, v'lei b'kmiyah, v'anshein by mumcha, unless it's from a mumcha. V'lei b'shirayin, now with a coat of mail. V'lei b'kasta, a helmet. V'lei b'gafayim, shin guards, im yatsa. Einoi chayev es chatos. These cases in the Mishnah are all isurei dira banan. Says the Gemara, let's start with case number 1. The sandal amisomar. My time, why not to wear the sandal amisomar? Amar Shmuel, it's exer derabon. Shall be exer hayu. The reason is there are fugitives running away. V'haya nechban b'mara. They're hiding in a cave. Amr, and they said to themselves, Chachma. Hanechles yikane. So whoever wants to come in can come in. V'yoytel yetze. You cannot leave the cave because they were nervous if someone leaves, then the Romans who were chasing after them would find these fugitives. So what do? One of the sandals of one of the people were backwards. So when they walked in, the shoe was backwards. It looked like they were walking out, and therefore they were found. So they thought, someone left. And they were worried that the enemy were going to see them. So what do? They were nervous. The enemy's going to come and find them. There was a panic, a pandemonium. They started pushing each other. And they killed everyone in that cave. Even more than the enemy killed. So they made a gzeira. Any sandal that was this type of sandal that potentially could be worn both ways was not allowed to be worn on Shabbos. Rav Elai ben Elazar, a second way of learning the Gzeira, they were hiding in a cave. They heard a noise above. Even they thought the enemy was coming. And since again it was partially because of the shoes that don't work backwards, they made such a Gzeira. Third way of learning the Gzeira, they were sitting in shul. They heard noises from behind the shul. They thought that the enemies were coming to them. More people were killed than the enemy. Says the Gemara, 1 second, if the whole reason is of the concern, why Shabbos? Say that this shoe is aser. Says the Gemara, says, okay, so beyond the history, she wanted to wear the shoe on Yantiv. Alama Tanam. Why do we learn as we turn over Samachon Beis that says the Gemara, B'Shabbos, my time Adika be Kinufya. There's a lot of people beyond Nami Kinufya, and therefore the Tam Gzeira. So whenever there's a lot of people, applies both to Shabbos and Yantiv. Says the Gemara, with this we conclude Tani Simar Kinufya Lissar. So Tani Simar, there's also a gathering of people, so they should have applied this Gzeira as well. Ma'aseh Kavi Kinufya di Surah was when it was asked to do Malacha Shabbos Yantiv. Kinufya de Tira on Yantiv. On Tani Simar, and therefore it's going to be Mutter. Says the Gemara, Va'afilo Rav Chanina. Ben Akavya, who holds what? Amr lo Asur b'yardin b'sfina. That they hold that whenever they make gezeras are very narrow, very particular. Rashi points out, he's talking about the Gzera of Mechatas, and it's only the river of the Yarden, only in a boat, a very narrow Gzeva, K'maisa Shaya. So according to them, or Achlina ben Akiva, Hanim the Yarden, the Shanim Mishar Naharis, Av Yantav Shabbos Ke'adanin, and we don't say that this is not narrow enough. Because Yontif is similar enough to Shabbos. It's not even Yontif, Shabbos, that's the reason why this Gezerah is going to be both in Shabbos and Yontif, because the Maisa Shahaya. Three different ways of learning the story, and we'll pick it up from here. B'siyata Dishmaya.